Hello, this is Grey Dog FM, Dave Dog here. We're back with the Hopeful Hatters and looking towards Premier League survival. In our first game in the last episode, we got the 3 points at Bournemouth. Since then, there's been ups and downs. Let's have a look how we got on in the following games. So we then played our first game at home, and it was to Nottingham Forest, a 2-2 draw. We took the lead on 14 minutes. Carlton Morris from Sambi Lukonga's through ball. They equalised with Hudson-Odoi on 28 minutes. Then Morris had one ruled out for offside on 32. It was 1-1 at half-time. Origi scored for Forest to make it 2-1 on 72. 6 minutes later, Morris was there again. This time, Ogbeni feeding him and making it 2-2. Slightly better XG for Forest. 9 shots on target. 1.4 XG compared to our 4 shots on target. But that doesn't tell the whole story. We were well in this game. 59% possession. We played well. Kaminski, 7.2 in goal, played well. Fair result, I would say, at 2-2. So Morris, 3 goals in his first 2 games, and he is really showing up well up front. The only problem with this one, we had Barkley injured. Just going to come back today, but more about that later. The next game was another home game at home to Tottenham. 3-1. We opened the scoring in the first minute. Morris again, making his goal tally 4 in 3 games. They equalised on 21. Kulusevski. 40 minutes, an Anderson own goal gave them the lead. 2-1 at half-time. And then just before the end, when we were pushing on, Son made it 3-1. As we'll see when we come to the table later on, Tottenham are doing really well. Not a bad defeat. 1.1 XG to them, 0.58 to us. Not a great deal in it. Probably the score somewhat flattered them at 3-1. We had chances after that first minute, but we couldn't find the net again. So, first defeat of the season after a win and a draw. On to the next one is our Carabao Cup second round tie away at Sheffield Wednesday. A narrow 1-0 win. We much rotated team here. Apart from the 3 central midfielders, Lokongo, Panza and Nakamba, everybody else was changed. Krul, Kabore, Burke, Mengi and Bell. Defence playing really well, with Bell grabbing an assist and the Man of the Match award. Up front, Townsend on the right, Giles on the left and Adebayo with the goal on 35 minutes. We should have won by more than 1, but hit the post, hit the bar. Those nervy moments near the end of the game when Sheffield Wednesday were pressing on, but they couldn't find a goal to equalise, and we go into the next round of the Carabao Cup. So the final league game before the international break and today's game against Newcastle was away to Brighton. They'd only got 1 draw from their 4 games. It was a 0-0 draw. Far from boring though, plenty going on. Although we only had 1 shot on target and they only had 2. Fair result in the end. Again, hitting the post, hitting the bar. Good defensive performances. Kaminski getting 7.4, Anderson 7.4 and Bell 7.3. Bell has been playing left wing back due to Doughty getting an injury. We've had 1 or 2 niggly injuries. And we brought Giles in on the left and pulled him back a little bit just to stop Brighton getting through with their possession. They didn't really have a great deal of chances, although it's showing 0.84, only 2 shots on target. A good point at Brighton. And so on to today's game, Newcastle. Let's have a look at the table before that. So as we see, we're in 13th place, 5 points from 4 games. Tottenham, the team that have beaten us, are top of the league. They've just lost 1 game. If we look at the bottom, you'll see the team that we beat. Bournemouth have lost all their games, and Brighton are just outside the bottom 3. Overall, not too bad. 1 win, 2 draws and a defeat. Today, we're playing Newcastle. They're 3rd in the league, so they've only 1 defeat also, which was against Forest. We drew with Forest, so on that basis, we're in with a chance. They have won their last 4 games, have Newcastle, and are rightfully favourites for this game. If you just look at the player stats there, Carlton Morris leading the way for the top scorers. Was also runner-up in the Premier League Player of the Month for August. He is doing well. Let's have a look at the team then we're going to put out today against Newcastle. So again, like we did against Brighton, we're going in cautious and we're going to block up the midfield. We're playing a 4-1-4-1. So Ogbeni has been pulled back as a winger on the right and Giles on the left, joining our midfield three, Lokongo, Mpanza and Nakamba. At the back, we've got the first choice central defenders, Lockyer and Anderson. Then Bell has been playing well on the left. And we've got Burke, who's really a centre-back, playing right-back due to Kabori, who's had an injury and returned to full training tomorrow. So we're not taking any chances with him. And Burke strengthens the defence on the right side. So Morris, with his runner-up in the Player of the Month and 4 goals with 4 games, continues as our lone forward. On the bench then we've got Tim Krul, Ted and Mengi, Issa Kabori, Tahith Chong, Ross Barkley returns onto the bench. He's only fit to play 60 minutes, that's why I've not started him. Andros Townsend, Corley McWoodrow, Elijah Adebayo and Jacob Brown. So let's get into this game then and see if we can thwart Newcastle. So we're in the dressing room for the pre-match team talk. Just a word on the assistant managers. Luton Town in real life do have 2 assistant managers, Richie Kyle and Paul Trollope, so they share the duties. I thought it was a glitch in the game, but looking up I found that is true. Richie Kyle is the one that's advising on the team talk here, and we're going to go with his recommendation. We've got nothing to lose here. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone else what we're capable of, and we're going to pump fists and say that. And certainly no response from the players' body language there. Everybody's composed. Get into this game then, and it's us kicking off. Sambi plays it back to Lockyer. Lockyer plays it out to Burke. Burke through ball, and that's the end of a kick-off highlight. We're getting them back on again. Don't know why, really. We don't really need to see the kick-off. Here's Anderson. Anderson to Sambi, Lokonga. Nakamba back to Lockyer. We're keeping possession in our own third. Really need to progress this ball further up, and Panzer loses it. That seems to be the case in these animations in FM24. We're seeing a lot of miscontrolled ball to give it back to the opposition, whereas before Bruno Guimaraes, and a good save by Kaminski, and it's a corner after 5 minutes to Newcastle. Trippier with the set piece. Trippier knocks it in, and Kaminski's up for that one. Nobody challenging him. As I say, the animations are better in that the players don't just knock the ball forward to the opposition centre-backs. They actually lose the ball now through lack of control. So I think before, when they wanted to change over the possession, they just gave it to the other team by kicking it long, nowhere near their own players. So they have increased it. They have made it better in that way. There does seem to be more football being played. Whether it's because I don't usually play Premier League, that may have been the case in the Premier League before. I'll have to see when I play some lower league football. And here's Almiron, and he strikes the crossbar, and it's Newcastle tipped onto the bar by Kaminski, and it's another corner in the 7th minute. Trippier again with a delivery to the edge. Here's Shah, plays it. There's a lot of those as well seen in the games. A lot of those where the corner taker plays it out to somebody on the edge of the box. The edge of the box player plays it back to the corner taker. Just don't know why. It's just irrelevant. Why does not get, why don't they have a shot? Why are they going to pass it back when they could have a shot, or pass it to somebody in the box? Here's Barnes, and Kaminski's there again. He's holding everything, and we're getting a lot of highlights now. 18th minute, Newcastle playing out from the back. Here's Botman to Shah. Come on, put some pressure on these guys. And it's back to Pope. Seems to be a lot of dilly-dallying around. Here's a long ball, and Isak gets onto the end of that one. Isak with a shot. Kaminski's there again, though. They're getting on target, but Kaminski's up to everything that's being thrown at him. And Trippier again with another set piece. We've dealt well with these so far. There's a header, and it's over the bar. I think it was Byrne, was it? And we've tried putting the set pieces on with the near post corner. No joy with that. Although I have seen some highlights where the near post corner does work, it mainly for the opposition probably. So we may have to look at that again and try something different with the set pieces. Here's Tonali, and Isaac swaps that one in, but he might have been offside. They're saying we're going to have a VAR and goal review check-in. And it could be onside here because they've not disallowed it straight away. Almiron, Tonali, and he runs onto it. It's probably onside, I would think. And yeah, it's going to be given. I'm taking a long time over this one. Is that on or off? I think he's on by the number of times they're showing it. Yep, it's given. So 8 shots, 5 on target. Nothing we've done. We've got to change something here. Encourage the team. We've done nothing, and it's all Newcastle, and it's only 1-0 thanks to Kaminski. Here's Trippier again with another corner, and he's up for that one. Burns header and misses on this occasion, and it's still 1-0, and it's the Newcastle show here. Shah to Bruno Gomes, cut out by Bell, plays it out to Giles back to Anderson plays it back to Kaminski. We look good in the defensive third. Oh, and Nakamba's giving it away there to Isaac, but he doesn't. Punishes for that one. What a miss that was. Kaminski plucks it out of the air, tried to chip him, tried to be showboat there, and but they're having lots and lots of chances in Newcastle. We're going to have to change something here at half time, and that's another corner blocked for a corner. And 37 minutes on the clock. Trippier getting lots of practice in with his corners, and Morris heads that one out. Who's up front then if Morris headed that out? And a wide shot, and don't know how we're only 1-0 down. Tell Nakamba to mark Isaac. No, I'm not going to tell my defensive midfielder to mark a forward. We've already got 2 central defenders there that should be dealing with that. Trippier to Botman. Lots and lots of highlights here. Bruno Gomes. Shah back to Gomes. Out to Tonali. Isaac, he's the main man. And is that a block? Yep. Lockyer blocks it, and it's another corner. Looks like they're trying to retain possession. You don't say. We're just up on the rack here. And Joe Linton was it that time? And how many shots? 14 shots, 6 on target. We've not had a single shot. 6 corners. We must have seen all of them. 2.17, but we're only 1 behind. Let's see if we can sort this out at half time. So half time team talk. I'm going to point finger at them, say I'm disappointed. We're not creative enough and we're not positive enough. And that's fired everybody up. Let's start the second half. See if we can get some shots at least. It's Newcastle kicking off. Botman in possession to Tonali. Gomes. And Bell heads that forward, but Gomes picks up again. A needless kick-off highlight again. Nothing happened. Just showing you the kick-off. Why? Should be able to have an option not to show the kick-off unless anything happens from it, obviously. Tonali to Isaac. Isaac's getting plenty of possession, and that one hits the bar, and they don't follow up. So Newcastle could have been 5 or 6 up by now, and we still not had a shot on target. We're going to come off the cautious and go balanced. Otherwise, we're not going to have a chance at all. Lokonga looks like he's given everything. Let's have a look. He's poor. 6.6, 6.4 to Giles. Giles isn't playing well. Ogbeni ain't playing well. Probably not had the ball, that's why. I'm going to bring Chong on for Giles. I'm going to keep Ogbeni on. I'm going to move him forward, though. Oh, obviously doesn't like that midfield role. Let's bring Barkley on for Lokonga then. Advanced playmaker on support, so get him forward a little bit. So 2 changes then. Chong and Barkley on for Giles and Lokonga. And back into the game. It's stopped the highlights anyway for now. 16 shots, 7 on target, 2.48 Newcastle. And Barkley, what's he doing? Going off? Has he got injured? It's a corner, he's off the pitch, and Panzo takes it. Burn heads out, but Benny picks up Chong with a shot, but it's just wide. Burn throws himself in front of it, so it's deflected. We have a corner. Ogbenny looks like he's given everything. Just get that off, will you? Chong with the corner near post. I'm going to have to change these. What was that? Strange header by Bell there. And it's still only 1-0. At least we've had a shot now. See if we can make some changes. We've actually got some momentum. So 72 minutes. Let's bring Townsend on then for Ogbenny. Let's bring Adebayo. Morris has not done it. Target forward on support. So 4 changes we've made then. We've got 1 sub left. Shuffled it up front. And it's still somehow only 1-0 to Newcastle. And time's ticking away. We're not getting any further highlights. Let's go on positive. We've got to try and get back in this game. If we got a point out of this, it certainly wouldn't be deserved. Number of shots and XG. Newcastle have been wasteful. Kaminski has saved some. Let's push Chong forward on that side. Yeah, leave it at that then. We'll just move Chong further forward. And as I say, if we get anything from this, it's Trippier with a free kick though. Well over. And how Newcastle have only scored 1 goal, I do not know. And we've had 2 shots, nothing on target. And it's coming up 3 minutes added time. And we've got a corner. How are we going to get a smash and grab here? Townsend with the corner. And it's in there, but Burn heads out. Townsend picks up, pens it, and Pope knocks it over. A shot on target in the first minute of added time. Our first shot on target, and we've got another chance. Chong puts it in there. Gordon heads out and Pope picks up. So we're not going to get anything. 1-0 is a reasonable result against a team that's up there near the top of the league. We didn't play, we just stifled them. 1 goal in the game. Kaminski, our man of the match, but he only got 6.9. Lockyer and Anderson played alright. Nothing going forward at all, just that 1 shot on target. Least said about that, the better. So let's have a look where we are in the table. So we dropped down to 15, 5 points from 5 games. That's the relegation ratio. If you get a point a game, you should stay up. Bournemouth, no points. Sheffield United 1 and Burnley 2, along with Brighton. A couple of those, Brentford and Brighton, have got games to play yet. So have Sheffield United and Bournemouth. So it's hard against the top teams. We've played Tottenham and Newcastle and lost to both those. They're 2nd and 3rd. Man City topping the table, 100% record. 5 wins from 5 games. So we've not been conceding a lot recently. 1 goal in our last 3. But we're not scoring. We scored 2 goals in the first 2 games. We've scored 2 goals in the next 4 games. Wolves away. We've got Plymouth at home in the Carabao Cup. Possibly we're going to get to the latter stages of that. Everton at home, Palace away, Chelsea at home, Burnley away. Don't want to go too far in front. So we'll go to Burnley away on the 28th of October. I'll come back for that one. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like. Comment if you've got anything you want to suggest regarding Luton Town team or how we're going to get goals. Defensively, we're not too bad. It's the old story. Quality counts. We've got the 2nd lowest wage budget in the division. Only Sheffield United have got a lower wage budget than us. It proves with the quality of players you've got, but we'll carry on when we play some of the other teams like Burnley, Sheffield United. We need to pick up wins against those. So thanks for watching again. Hope to see you again next time. For now, Dave Dog, goodbye.